The balance of complaining complaints. The balance of complaining complaints. Psalm chapter 144 verse 14 says, that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there be no breaking in, nor going out, that there be no complaining in our streets. Psalms mention that we don't want to have grumbles about problems out here. To people. If you can help it, solve the problems at hand and reduce your own anguish by looking at things differently, with more hope, or the bright side. Job chapter 7:11 says, therefore I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. Job is talking about speaking on things that he was bothered about. He said that he is going to talk about this stuff out here in the world. So Psalms is saying don't complain, and Job is saying that he is going to speak on what is bothering him. There is balance on the topic of grumbling and murmuring about stuff. Exodus chapter 16 verse 2 says, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. People were finding things to say about the situation they were exposed to, but they said it in a way that became overwhelming to Moses, because they made Moses out to be the bad guy. Yah was the one that was putting them in the wilderness without ready food or water, like they had in Egypt, and they had to talk about the problem, but they started to dump excessive problems on how they felt about being in the wilderness than Moses could handle. The Blue Letter Bible definition of murmur is to grumble, complain, murmur. The niphal means to grumble, the hiphil means to complain, cause to grumble. In a primitive root it means to stop. It means to stay permanently, in a bad sense, to be obstinate. Especially in words, to complain, abide all night, continue, dwell, endure, grudge, be left, lie all night, cause to lodge all night, to murmur. An online definition of complain is 1. Express dissatisfaction or annoyance about something, to state that one is suffering from a pain or other symptom of illness. Clearly, complaining has some benefits and can be a way to relieve stress, in small doses. But excessive complaining about the problems, big or small, just isn't an effective solution. Cut out complaining, and you're much more likely to see the world with optimism and gratitude. Philippians chapter 2 verse 14 says, do all things without murmurings and disputings. What is excessive complaining to the listener? When the listener thinks it is more than is necessary, normal, or desirable, immoderate. Is complaining toxic? Now, let's get this straight. Complaining is not bad at all, but when you do it constantly, it can turn toxic in more ways than one. That's because complaining signifies that you are not accepting of what's happening in your life. Unfortunately, it carries a very negative energy. How do you stop yourself from complaining? Especially if you notice yourself doing it too much. But here are 7 strategies you can try when you hear yourself complaining. Step back.